if you're looking to integrate fasting with your meal plan and your weight loss program, let me explain the best ways to do it. You have two options. One is to opt for the 5-2 diet approach, which is kind of all the rage right now, where 2 days a week you're eating only 500 calories and the rest of the time you're eating from a healthy diet. The key here is the word healthy. A lot of people that are fasting right now are only focused on calories and not on nutrients, which is actually a real problem in the long term, because when you're eating less overall, which is what's happening when you're fasting, what you do eat, the quality of what you eat, becomes even more important if you don't want your body to kind of think it's being starved. So really important to eat quality food. So use the menu planner. Now, the simplest way of selecting those 500 calories within your plan is just to eat dinner for 1 or 2 days a week. So the 5-2 pattern. Focus on those 500 or 600 calories, focus on dinner alone. So skipping breakfast, your snacks and lunch, and eating dinner alone, which is actually quite difficult to do, not suitable for everyone, and we do have the cautions and explaining maybe the best way to find a fasting approach if you're interested through the guide that you can download. But fundamentally, that's what the system would allow you to do. The next day you may feel a little bit hungrier. Start with an egg-based breakfast, for example, keeps you fuller for longer, and make sure you eat your snacks. Adding that kind of fasting approach on top of your weight loss planner will certainly increase the weight loss, usually by about 20 to 30%, if not a little bit more. So in other words, if you're losing steadily 1.5 to 2.5 pounds a week, it may go up to 3.5 plus per week using the integrated fasting approach. Now, the other fasting style and the other approach that I explain in the guide how to use is called the 16-8. And the 16-8 is referring to the hours when you are eating and the hours when you're not. So in other words, for 16 hours a day you're fasting, but don't worry, that includes the sleeping hours. And for 8 hours a day, that is your eating window. It doesn't mean you eat continually for 8 hours, because that wouldn't be good for weight loss, but it means that you're eating within an 8-hour window only. In effect, this means that you skip one meal a day. Usually breakfast. People usually sleep through the night, skip breakfast, which adds on another 4 hours, and start eating at noon. Or you may care to stop eating at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, skipping dinner instead, depending on, I guess, your lifestyle patterns and which meals you enjoy the most. Now, there's a number of theories behind this, not theories, actual good hard science actually. Reducing your overall consumption of food is helpful for longevity, so it's anti-aging, can reduce cardiovascular risk, also gives your digestion a bit of a rest, and yes, of course, it's also helping to burn fat. Now, the way to integrate this with your meal planner is simply to switch off on the planner the meals that you're not going to eat. So if you're going to try 16-8, I would recommend trying it intermittently. So not every single day, but maybe 3 or 4 days a week, give it a shot. Switch off breakfast, switch off the mid-morning snack, and start eating at noon. So bring your lunch a little bit further forward in terms of your allotted time that you would normally eat within. Now, it is entirely possible that you will be, in fact it's very likely that you'll be hungrier at your first meal. That's generally what happens. So eat a little bit more. Increase your portions slightly, but only according to appetite. Because the way that this works, and why this is kind of a nice clever system, is that even though you're a little bit hungrier, you do not make up for the food that you have not eaten. Okay, so you eat slightly more, but not enough to eat the calories that you would have consumed had you been eating throughout the day. So if you're going to try the 16-8, meal skip through the week, 4 or 5 times would be ideal, and then eat slightly more in the 8-hour window when you are consuming, but eat according to appetite. Now, if you're adding in exercise to that, then we've already taken that into account in terms of the amount that we have said that you should eat. But again, just watch, you're not aiming to starve yourself. You're not even looking to feel hungry or dramatically hungry on a fast. You will be hungry in the times when you're not eating, of course, and slightly hungry at your first meal time, but after that it should feel quite easy. So it's worth giving it a try. You have an extraordinarily healthy diet with this plan anyway, and you will lose weight anyway, because we're very accurate about what we're doing. But fasting is a great trend. I'm a great fan of it myself. That's why I wrote the book. And it is something that can be very safely integrated into your menu planner. But you've got to try either the 5-2 or the 16-8. Give it a shot. Certainly good for turbocharging weight loss every now and then, and it's something you can dip in and out of quite easily.